like to invite a very special Mattia to tell us about Lutomer Open.
In Slovenia, we also have a open international tournament, just like one in ARGO. It's happening in the beginning of March. I think it's from the 9th to 13th of March. It's happening in a town in Slovenia, which is just as beautiful as Pest, with the addition of beautiful vineyards. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people here know about the tournament. It is also a quite large tournament. It's been done now for the past 15 years or so. So for those of you who don't know about it, I kindly invite you to check out the Facebook page or write to see. And if you're interested, go to the tournament. And there's also another thing that I would like to invite you all to. In Slovenia, in summer, in June usually, we have a debate academy called WSDA, World Schools Debate Academy, which usually has just over 100 this year, over 150 debaters who come for workshops. Like they have workshops for a week and then have a tournament in the end. It's happening in the end of June. I think this year it's going to happen from the 24th to 31st or something like that, or the 1st of July. That days. And if anyone is interested in more information or like coming, I again can invite you to write to me, ask me, or write to our senior members of ZIP, and we will all be very glad to see you there if you decide to come. That is all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we'd like to call a very special person here. You've seen him around, chaotically making sure that everything goes well. He is the president of ARGO, Mr. Sherman Pidek himself.
Thank you very much, Naya. So what I want to do is to sort of go through the exceptional people and lovely institutions that have made this tournament possible in so many ways. And the first of those is the school that has hosted us in all our prelim rounds and in all our out rounds. I'd like to give a huge thanks to Colegiul Economic Virgil Magyar. And also to Ms. Dragomir, who is the headmistress of this college, and I'd like to invite her to tell us a few words.
În primul rând, vă felicit. Vă felicit că la activitatea pe care ați desfășurat-o, cu excepția zilei de duminică, în fiecare zi am venit să vă văd. Să vă văd pentru că din prima zi am văzut cât de mult se implică cei care au participat la concurs și cei care au fost voluntari. Faptul că am fost gazdă, mulțumesc organizatorilor, vă mulțumesc dumneavoastră că ne-ați ales pe noi și sper că v-a plăcut. Dacă nu v-a plăcut, îmi trimiteți pe adresa școlii ce nu v-a plăcut, da? Ca să știu pe viitor să nu avem astfel de neajunsuri. Încă o dată, vă felicit. Mă bucur că dumneavoastră ați reușit să aveți reprezentați din 10 țări. Am fost în noi, Colegiul Economic din Magyarul, am fost în foarte multe proiecte, de la Cultur Contact din 2000 până la Comenius și până la Postdru. Și mă bucur că și activitatea dumneavoastră este o parte din sufletul nostru. Încă o dată, felicitări!
Vă mulțumim! Mr. Amir has told us that she's been with us most days except for Sunday, and she thought that participants have an extraordinary drive in this tournament, and she's really, really impressed with how awesome the debaters are and how involved we are in the debating community. And also, she hopes that you've enjoyed yourselves and that you've loved the hospitality of their lovely school. And if you have any feedback, they also have like an email where you can tell them what they need to improve for future occasions. We're also going to have feedback, by the way, right? So thank you very much, Mrs. Darby. In farther terms, I would like to also thank our general institutional partners like the City of Ploiești, the Prahova County Council, for supporting us and for generally being supportive with the debating movement. A special thanks to the Prahova County School Board, which are our strategic partners and have helped us so many times to achieve location for our tournaments. So thank you to Prahova County School Board. Further, I would like to thank you for, I'd like to offer a thank you to Hotel Central, which has actually been an incredible host for many of our events, so thank you very much, Hotel Central. And in terms of running the tournament, there are some people that have given us some very, very tasty refreshments that we have enjoyed throughout the tournament. And I'm sure everyone's been enjoying drinking Timbar juices. So thank you very much, Timbar. For an incredible job in promotion and in terms of popularizing debating and popularizing this tournament, I would like to extend a big, big thanks to Christina and Beto PR. And last but not least, I'd like to thank the people that are making the awards for this final and for this tournament possible. We have some really, really awesome books from Okean, and like they're an incredible like bookstore. So really, we recommend Okean, and we hope all our participants are going to really enjoy those books. So thank you very much, Okean, for this. And we generally thank all the institutions and all the people that have supported this tournament so far. But ultimately, I think that it's a really, really big step that we need to give a big thanks to our ORCOM, right? They made this happen, so thank you very much, ORCOM. And further on, I would like to invite Laura to tell us a little bit about the people in this ORCOM.
Before we go to the ORCOM, I'd really like to call our headmaster again in order to offer our thanks. So if you vă mulțumim mult.
Și vom colabora normal, parteneriatul nostru va fi de conclu.
Mulțumim foarte mult! So first of all, I'd really like to thank everybody for being here. I think it's the third time I'm organizing ARGO Open in one way or another, and the fifth time I'm here. So I'm really happy to have you all. I would really like to thank these awesome people that made it happen, and I'm going to ask them to please come forward. I'm not good with timing, sorry. Okay, so first, yeah, if you can help me, thank you. So first of all, we would like to thank the people that made the tournament happen before the competition, that made all the communication happen, which is our media team, Andrea Laro or Dexter. Marius Petko, our app guy. Okadia Nika, if you haven't run back to England, if you could please come forward. Irina Dumitrake, that took care of everything Facebook related. And of course, Stefan Pushkashu, that took care of media and logistics as well. Thank you. In front of me, yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, then we had our awesome people that took care of logistics, that made sure that you get food and socials and coffee, of course. So first of all, we have Vladimir Historica. Thank you, Baba. I'm sure everybody enjoyed the vouchers last night. Then we have Bogdan Petrini or ARGO Trans. And of course, we'd also like to thank the people that made this tournament happen, even if they were not officially in the ORCOM. Ivan and Lulu, thank you. So now I'm going to go forward our three most amazing volunteer coordinators that made sure that everything is on time and good, right? So we have Tamara Kurab, Bogdan Kucha, and Martin Cohen. Thank you guys, I'm really privileged to have worked with you, and hopefully we'll do it like in further editions as well.
Stop.
I don't need, I have a powerful voice. We as the three coordinators, would like to thank the lovely volunteer team, and we also like to invite them in front so you can see the people that work behind all these great things that happened on this competition. Please, the volunteers, come.
So, I really want to say that these people, all of them, have tirelessly worked to get everything done, for everything to be in its right spot, for everything to be nice and cozy and like welcoming you. So I really appreciate them. Most of them are, most of them are just high school kids that came here and wanted to make this happen for you. Some of them have returned from last year. So honestly, they deserve like all the rounds of applause in the world because they were really, really, really amazing.
Thanks, guys. So I have two remaining thank yous that need to be said. Firstly is an institution that's helped us logistically, and we'd like to give a big thank you to, and that is Explore Education. And secondly, but not at all least important, I'd like to thank the person behind the numbers in the scores and the results of the debate, the person that's run the tournament, and that is our tab master, Valentin Zanpier. Do we have the panel judges in? Okay, we don't. Let's try to get them. So now we can just move on to awards, I guess. So now we'd like to call up some very important teams. Like, congratulations firstly to all teams that competed in tournaments. We're really grateful for you debating, and we think debating is an activity worthwhile of your time, even if you don't win tournaments, even if you don't end up in the final, so that's still an amazing thing that you're doing. But ultimately, we want to give an extra congratulation to teams that were in the quarterfinals, and invite them to come up and pick up their diplomas. So I think the first of these teams, or in no particular order actually, is Team No Idea for Now. Team Sultans. Those two teams were from Romania, and now the next quarterfinalist team from Germany, Max Born Gymnasium A. The last quarterfinals team, definitely not least, is from the United States of America, Logos Yellow. Thank you for also bringing Captain America to Romania, guys. And now for two semi-finalist teams that we need to claim. Return of the Lenses from Romania. And our second semi-finalist team, also from Romania, Romania Pink. Before we get into the speaker awards, and obviously then the result of the grand final, I'd like to extend an amazing thank you for the person that's basically started debating in Ploiești and also has started debating in Romania to a large degree, and has been the mentor of so many of the awesome people in ARGO. So, big thanks to Mrs. Simona Mazilu. And I'd like to call her up here to tell us a few things about her experience with, putting up with us all these years.
I'm rather small, but it's not the size or the height, right? It's the very essence. And you know that good essences are held in small bottles, right? So I'm an example of what you understand. So, can you all hear me? First of all, I'd like to start by saying I'm extremely excited. And I'm also on the verge of breaking down crying, so I'll try hard not to make it happen. Happily, my daughters are not here because they would just make such fun of me. Alright? I'm not gonna do that because you have an awesome responsibility on your shoulders. And I'll get to that point. But firstly, some very dramatic words. What if? And it depends on how you fill in the blanks, because these two words may be happy or unhappy. So what if more than 22 years ago, almost 23, what if I had said no to a challenge called debate? Nobody had ever heard about in Romania. What if I had quitted on my lonely way for more than 10 years? So it takes strong faith, and I do not lack it. Modesty apart again. So what if you find yourself to be the only lonely runner on a way that seems to be leading nowhere? There are no signs, no checks and balances, but you're still hanging there. You keep your face up and you keep going. And what if I had been, or I had remained alone and lonely? What if nobody had followed in my footsteps? What if other great dreamers like David Moscovich, Șerban Pitic, Nae Șoboială, and others, the list is so long. I can already talk about generations, modesty apart again. And you know what? The big question is, what does it take? What does it take to make it happen? Well, it takes a dream. I'm a dreamer in a very materialistic world. And we need big dreams more than ever. We need ideals and aspirations. That's not pragmatic at all, and I have no metric to give you. But I strongly believe in dreamers and big dreams. And it's not enough to have a dream. You need to have faith. You need to believe in there's no one coming. And even if you shouted, you only heard your own echo. But you keep going because you're persistent, because you believe in your dream. So it takes a dream, it takes faith, it takes persistence. And it takes, of course, it always takes caring and sharing. And that is our awesome responsibility. We all have this responsibility because debate is a gift and we need to share it. We do not own debate. Debate is not our possession. Debate is a gift. So you guys will need to keep sharing and caring. And you also need to be committed to it. And you know, in whatever you choose to do in life, it all starts with a big question. What am I? Where do I want to go? You know, just find your own voice and do not copy. Do not copy in a world that does a lot of copying and pasting. You have to find your voice. And it is harder than ever because we do not have role models anymore. Real role models that have to do with character. And that's another awesome responsibility, guys. When all is said and done, you know, winning or losing is not the point. We all win because we become better people. And because we get to open up and cross culture and build friendships and build bridges that may last a lifetime and even more. Another question is, or another must is, we need to have and you need to have a vision. You need to be able to see beyond. As I said in an interview I gave 2 days ago, yeah, ARGO was my baby. ARGO is no longer a teenager. ARGO is a young adult. And will continue to grow and grow up. But growing up should not be growing down spiritually. Hear me. Again, values and principles in a world that isn't great. So we have an awesome responsibility, guys. So I'm not going to insist on it anymore, but I would like to quote someone who said, of all the words of tongue or pen, the saddest are these, it might have been. They belong to John Greenleaf Whittier, an American poet and a fervent slavery abolitionist. And you know what? When you feel that something is your thing, go for it. Even if you're the only one. Even if you're the crazy one. Even if everyone else looks at you and laughs at you. Think of these words, the saddest of all. Don't get to the end of your road and, you know, in which you will have to say, it might have been. You go, get on stage, make things happen, and keep going. You know, my favorite quote is, keep walking. All right? So I love you all, and please do come back.
All right, so the next 10 people I'm going to call up here, and I'm going to ask to sort of form a straight line in front of the podium, are the top 10 speakers of this tournament. So, on 10th place, with a speaker score average of 72 points, Dominica Sandu. On 9th place, with a speaker average of 72.1 speaker points, Andrei Vasiliu. 8th place with 72.14 speaker points. You've seen him in the final, Matja Pushnik. Seventh place, speaker average of 72.22 points, is from Team Sultans, Jonas Stanchu. On sixth place, with an average of 72.28, also from the final, also from Slovenia, Primož Fabiani. With a speaker average of 72.57 from the team Return of the Lenses, Juliana Yedges. On fourth place, from Team Sultans, Victor Yon. And now for the 30 top speakers, with a speaker average of 72.79, also from the final, Wojka Lubaszko. On second place, with a speaker average of 72.94 points, from Team Romania Pink, Mara Croitoro. And the best speaker of ARGO Open 2016, with a speaker average of 73.11 points, Alexandra Pirescu.
Hi guys. I'm gonna keep this one short because I'm pretty nervous and I don't want to mess it up too much. There are a few people I'd like to thank. Firstly, the members of my team, Mara, Victor, Sanchu, and Meli. Thank you so much for keeping up with all my stuff this year. Also, my 3 trainers, Juan, Laura, and Dexter. Thank you a lot for teaching me mostly all I know. And lastly, I'd like to thank the teacher who actually taught me debating in the first place. I'm really grateful, and I hope more and more children are going to have my opportunities. Thank you.
And now for the big reveal, it's my pleasure to invite our chief adjudicator, Beth James.
Hi guys, thank you very much for your patience, both while we reach our decision, which I'm sure, as you can imagine, was a difficult one for a very high standard debate, but also thank you for your interest and enthusiasm and participation in all the debates. Speaking on behalf of all the judges at ARGO 2016, it's been a pleasure to be in rooms with such exciting and interesting debates, to see so many young people doing so well and being so engaged on the big issues. And I think I would ask all the judges in the room to give a huge round of applause to all the participants. Similarly, just because I can make you sit in suspense a little bit longer, and it's quite nice to use that power, I'm just going to take the opportunity to say thank you very much to the ARGO for putting on a fantastic tournament. I think you'll all agree that they've been incredibly accommodating, as we predicted that they would be at the opening ceremony. And equally, can I thank the rest of the Chief Adjudication panel for all their hard work, both prior to the tournament and during it. It's been a pleasure working with all of them. So, moving back to what you're actually listening to me to do, that's this debate. Now, I have to say that it was a very high standard debate, as you would expect in the grand final, and I'd like to congratulate all the speakers for the stylistic and persuasive way that they approached the debate. Also, the respectful way. We only had one mention of Trump, and it was very kind to him. So thank you very much for that. Equally, it was a credible example of research in a very short timescale. It was great to see a good number of examples. Perhaps one team had a slight edge in that, but I'd definitely say it was a good level of analysis displayed by all the speakers. So the decision was a split one, and I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview as to what the main themes that came out of the adjudication discussion were, and then try and point to the primary areas that divided the adjudication panel. So the adjudicators looked at, firstly, this issue of characterization, both of the US and of Russia, but predominantly Russia, as that became a major issue within the debate. They looked at whether the characterization, particularly from opposition, is sort of pointing Russia as being just defending their situation, not really being the aggressor, but being the one just to react in situations where they have no choice, versus proposition's characterization as Russia being always the aggressor and always lying in wait in order to act whenever opportunity presents itself. We thought that created a lot of tension within the debate and had a sort of catalyst to how we understood and how we responded to some of the other arguments. For example, this argument about power vacuum. Now, this was something that was quite crucial in the debate and equally something quite crucial for what the judges determined to be the result. Obviously, side proposition explained to us that it is necessary for us to act because if you understand Russia will always be the Russian bear, the lying in wait aggressor, then this power vacuum that currently exists is just a biding time situation before they will do something that we will then inevitably have to respond to. Or on opposition, it was this analysis that actually you don't understand why Russia is behaving the way they are, and even if you do understand those various historical justifications for their behaviour, your course of action won't necessarily solve the problem. This question of power vacuum was quite important. Another question and line of argumentation that came out from both sides within the debate was this thing about cultural differences. Now we thought that this was a little bit washed out at the point by the end of the debate because both sides just came down to an interpretation as to how those cultural differences would fall. And so we didn't think that that was a major determinant feature to reaching a result. There were other arguments within the debate, for example, this thing about international relations more broadly. And while some judges felt that in proposition they could have done more development of that argumentation, felt that side opposition perhaps didn't really engage with it at times. However, again, both sides almost conceded that was less important if you look at the broader theme of characterization and a power vacuum. There were a few other points that could have allowed for further development. This question that opposition kept bringing forward about a mechanism. It was questionable in a debate like this, where you're talking about prioritization, that you have to prove a direct set of steps and a direct model that would necessitate an outcome. However, the judges felt that both teams almost conceded that we are going to talk about a balance of success in the long term and what would actually happen. So perhaps opposition could have spent a little less time calling on proposition to do their job, and proposition could have done a little bit more to defend what their job was. Having said that, it became perhaps less moot
effect. While at times they were used to punctuate a point, and at other times they were used to support something which then wasn't used in the substantive. So, but it was an excellent example of engagement. We'd like to commend all the debaters for doing so. The debate kind of moved into an area of, are we talking about military action? I don't think, and the judges don't think, that needed to be the line of this debate now. There are broader questions marks about why you would prioritise, and if, for example, the argument about international relations had been bigger in the debate, then that would have been a clearer line of proposition. We could have also heard about economic impacts, for example, but because there was a concession, we're going to really talk about Russia in terms of an actor, and whether it's going to create fear, whether these countries are going to be a threat or not. That puts that power vacuum issue right to the forefront. Two judges on the panel felt that the power vacuum argument was not sufficient in terms of proposition, and that as a consequence, opposition did a much better job at pointing out that it's a misunderstanding about Russia, why Russia is behaving the way it is, and it's a misunderstanding about how the problem will ever be solved. Whereas the remaining judges on the panel felt the proposition had done a sufficient job to characterise Russia and the necessity to act. And as such, in a 5-2 split, it went to team proposition.
Is there anything you'd like to tell us?
Thank you for the tournament.
We would like to thank all the people at ARGO who made it possible for us to come here again, like they were mentioned before, but we really are grateful. And it's an amazing experience, and I think it's a great end to the debating year.
It was the final debating tournament for the high school for our but he'll be coming back next
I'd be more than happy to come and judge or like be a volunteer or something though. It was very fun.
But ladies and gentlemen, of course it's not done. Let's hear a huge round of applause for the finalist team, Forza Vaca.
On behalf of my team, I would like to thank everyone that organized this competition, everyone that judged this competition, everyone that played at this competition. It was not only amazing and really educating, but it was also really, really fun to play at, and the socials were amazing, and everything was so fun. I guess, yeah, we would like to thank everyone that ever invested time and energy in us, our trainers, our friends, and our family.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, I think. Oh, sorry. Yes. For me and Boyka, this was the last school's match for us, and it was quite emotional. And I think, especially me, and of course her, want to thank all of our teammates for the last 3 years and people that joined us and played with us at every tournament. And for me, especially, this moment is kind of emotional, and I want to make on behalf of myself some personal thanks. First of all, they go to 3 of my dear people, go to my friends who through the last year have been close to me and have helped me to get a better debater. It's about Ali, Monica, and Alex Jurja. They have been very close to me. They have helped me to develop, and they have been there whenever I needed them.
Second of all, I want to thank my trainers and coaches from Cantemir Debate Club and the ex-Cantemir Debate Club trainer, Andrei Petre, which some of you may know. We believe that they have invested in me and in Vojka a lot of time and a lot of resources. We hope that it paid off after all those years. And being mandated by Mr. Claudiu Toader to keep the tradition alive, I would like to give a huge thanks to Mrs. Alina Nica.
Now see, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of any debate competition, we do have to say that debate without debaters would be a pretty boring sport. Imagine just watching an hour of debate with nobody actually speaking. As such, we can deduct that debaters are a pretty important part of this whole phenomenon. So, let's give a huge round of applause for you then. Without debaters is boring, but debate without judges is just confusing. How would you ever know who won, who lost? How can you improve? How many times per second did you say, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen? So let's give a huge round of applause to the judges at this competition. So debate without debaters is boring, and debate without judges is confusing. But truth be told, debate without the CAP is honestly about nothing, because you have no motion to debate, and then everything would be chaos and darkness. So let's give a huge round of applause to our CAP. And members of the CAP panel, Jana Dilke, Simon Martina Perez, Mika Pecena, Branislav Pečko, Lisa Schallenberg, and Sherban Pitik.
I accept quite an answer. So if anyone else in the CAP would say, I'd be very welcome to do that.
I might risk being repetitive, but actually, in addition to thanking the entire CAP for a really fun working atmosphere, I think the biggest thing is due to the ARGO open organizers, specifically Laura for doing just a great job as a convener again. The entire team of volunteers has spent so much time and effort in actually keeping the whole tournament alive. I know from experience that without the volunteers, nothing happens. So actually, like I said already, I might be repetitive, but a huge, massive thank you just to the team who makes it possible that we can all be here. Thank you so much. It's always fun and it's a great quality tournament. So everybody.
I have a flight to catch.
Right. Personally, I love debaters. I love debate. I like everything that is to do with debating. But debaters specifically are incredible people and quite a weird bunch. And the reason why they're a weird bunch is because, you know, in the morning they wake up for breakfast, they discuss international politics, then for lunch they analyze ethics, and at dinner they have a debate on socio-cultural economic policies. That's weird from my perspective. They're supposed to do fun, normal teenager activities like getting drunk in bars or doing drugs or whatever else. But no, they do these things and then they go every weekend. At school, at a debate club, and they read stuff. That's not about games or or video stars or movie stars or pop stars or anything. And they know stuff about the world and not just about their immediate geographical premises. They know capitals and politicians, and they even understand difficult words like idiosyncrasies. And that's a lot of letters there. Debaters are weird, but they're the weirdest because specifically they're so happy all the time, even though their whole life revolves around stealing and failing. See, it does, honestly. Whenever you go at a debate competition like here, you will steal argumentation lines and styles and techniques. You will steal feedback and ideas. If you're lucky, you'll steal glances, maybe even hearts. But that's what you do. You steal and you fail. Most of you are like, you fail. You fail more than most people, honestly. You put your life on the line. You put your soul and your personality there, because debate is all about being verbose, about being dynamic, competitive, formal, intellectual. It's about doing something with everything that you have. See, when a dancer dances and they fail at the dance competition, they're a bad dancer, but they're not a bad person. But when a debater comes up with an idea and they try to transmit it and send it forward to the judge, when they can't do it properly, they failed with themselves. And honestly, we are most beautiful when we fail, because we're most vulnerable and we get to pick ourselves up again. We have to continue doing these two things. We have to continue stealing and continue failing. We have to steal, but steal like an artist, because Miss Mazilu said it nicely, right? She said, don't copy, steal like an artist, steal only what is worth. Steal like a storyteller, steal and make it your own. And steal in a karmic way. Steal and then give back. More, double, triple. And continue failing. Fail and fail and fail again, and learn from your failures, and then fail some more. And grab failure by the boots and grow old next to failure, and when you're old and crumpled, annoy failure by pretending you're dead. Fail and win at failing, ladies and gentlemen. And that's how you will succeed. ARGO Open 2016. Have a night.